Donald Trump is facing new charges. The Department of Justice is investigating Memphis police, and scientists woke up a 46,000-year-old worm. That's some of what we'll get to on The 7 from The Washington Post. I'm Jeff Pierre. Today is Friday, July 28th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. Donald Trump is facing new charges in the classified documents case. The former president, along with 2 aides, is accused of trying to keep security camera footage from being reviewed by investigators. Prosecutors announced the additional charges yesterday. Trump now faces a total of 40 federal charges in this case. That includes 32 counts of illegally retaining national defense information. All of this centers on allegations that he hoarded and hid classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, his home in Florida. Number 2, extreme heat is covering more of the U.S. now than it has all summer. Over 170 million people are under heat alerts from California to Maine. And the Midwest will see the most intense heat compared to its normal temperatures this weekend. President Biden unveiled new safety measures yesterday, which aim to protect workers in construction, agriculture, and other industries vulnerable to heat.
The number one weather-related killer is heat. The number one weather-related killer is heat. 600 people die annually from its effects, more than from floods, hurricanes, and tornadoes in America combined.
Biden also announced more funding to improve weather forecasting and increase water storage capacity in western states. Number 3. The Senate passed a defense policy bill last night. It would authorize more military spending and give a pay raise for service members and other Defense Department employees. In the House, hard-right Republicans recently passed a vastly different package targeting the military's abortion policy and diversity protections. This sets up what could be a bitter negotiation. In the weeks to come, the Democratic-led Senate and the Republican-controlled House must reconcile their differences. If not, Congress risks failing to pass a National Defense Authorization Act for the first time in more than 6 decades. Number 4, the Justice Department opened a civil rights investigation into Memphis police. Yesterday's announcement followed allegations that the Memphis Police Department systematically used excessive force and discriminated against Black residents. Here's Kristen Clark, an assistant U.S. Attorney General at yesterday's news conference in Memphis.
The investigation we announced today will focus on 3 main issues. First, whether the Memphis Police Department engages in a pattern or practice of making unlawful stops, searches, and arrests. Second, whether the Memphis Police Department engages in a pattern or practice of using excessive force. And third, whether the Memphis Police Department engages in racially discriminatory policing practices with respect to Black residents of this city.
The investigation comes 7 months after Tyree Nichols, a 29-year-old Black man, was beaten by Memphis police officers and died of his injuries 3 days later. The incident was caught on body camera footage that was released to the public, sparking protests across the country. If federal investigators find that Memphis police violated civil rights laws, the department could be forced to implement hundreds of changes under the watch of a federal monitor. Number 5, the Supreme Court cleared the way for a controversial natural gas pipeline. The pipeline will stretch 300 miles through mountains in West Virginia and Virginia. Much of it is already built, but legal challenges have paused construction since 2021. Environmentalists say it threatens lands, water resources, and endangered species. In yesterday's ruling, justices lifted a lower court's pause on remaining construction. Number 6, a red meat allergy linked to ticks may be far more common than we realized. The CDC said yesterday that up to 450,000 people in the U.S. may have developed the potentially life-threatening condition known as alpha-gal syndrome. It's an allergic reaction caused by a sugar molecule that enters the body through a tick bite. The allergy can then be triggered by eating red meats, including beef, pork, and lamb, which also contain the sugar. Other food products from mammals, such as dairy products and gelatin, can also cause reactions. The symptoms range from hives and itchy rashes to more severe reactions, including difficulty breathing and drops in blood pressure. Aside from avoiding those foods and products, there is no treatment or cure for the syndrome. And at number 7, scientists woke up a 46,000-year-old worm. A new study described a female microscopic roundworm that was frozen for millennia beneath 130 feet of Siberian permafrost. Scientists revived it by heating it up very slowly and very carefully. It woke up and started having babies in a laboratory dish. Scientists said the worm is a newly discovered species of nematode, which are among the most ubiquitous organisms on Earth. They live in the soil, water, and the ocean floor. Studying this time-traveling worm could reveal more about how animals adapt to extreme environments and what they may do to survive the soaring global temperatures and the changing weather patterns of today. That's the show for this week. The assistant producer of The 7 is Taylor White. Special help this week from audio intern Tanya Chavla. The staff writers are Jamie Ross and Hannah Jewell. John Taylor is our editor. Additional editing by Christina Quinn, and a special thanks to Shaul Mittelpunkt. Copy editing by Thomas Haliba, Francis Moody, and Melissa No. Mixing and sound design is by Jim Briggs and Justin Garish. Our theme music is by Edith Mudge. I'm Jeff Pierre. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, and I will meet you back here on Monday.